Hey, what's up guys? And before we get started with today's video, I want to give you guys a heads up that there are two scenarios being played in the video. The first part is a Southern Pacific cab forward scenario that takes about 27 minutes out of the entire video. And then the other half is from the Rio Grande Southern route. Both of which, the main reason I decided to do this, first off, was because I got a comment on one of my other videos asking for a scenario playthrough of at least a Southern Pacific locomotive, and I'll put that comment on the screen now. But the other thing was that because the Southern Pacific cab forward scenario was so short, I ended up having to record another scenario so I could fill out the time. I usually record videos that are at least 45 to an hour long, 45 minutes to an hour long, and this came up a bit short. So yeah, with that said, let's get started with today's video, shall we? Well, it's been a while. Actually, I've never really run a steam locomotive, or well, let's just say it. It's the end of an era for the Southern Pacific, at least in this scenario here. Today, we are operating the Southern Pacific's cab forward in this week's episode of Railworks Sundays, as we, well, take the trip down the line to basically say goodbye to a living legend. The Southern Pacific cab forwards. This video, and I think I've mentioned this at the beginning of the video, this was a request. A comment was made on one of my other videos recently to play a longer scenario, or play a long scenario with the Southern Pacific steam locomotive. And the daylight, which I do have both the daylight and the cab forwards here, and I don't have, like, there's no scenarios for the daylights that I had. I was actually making one. I was making a scenario based off the Freedom Train, but yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Still need to work on that. Okay, we're going through here. But yeah, we're operating the final run of the cab forwards. I didn't even notice that. It looks like is that actually working? No. I thought I saw the throttle linkage move. I'm trying to find it, actually. Where's the throttle linkage? It should be... Oh, there it is, right there. But yeah, we're getting out of the yard here, and we're running a fairly decent freight block of Pacific Fruit Express cars back there. Oh, not the boiler. I forgot, this is not a diesel. Been running so many diesels of the past couple of months, or past couple of episodes, that yeah, I forgot. Alright, there we go. And with this particular locomotive, I have to use the F5 HUD as much as I can because I need to make sure I'm actually operating correctly. There we go, shut it down. We got some Railfans coming up here that we need to blow for. It's a 30-mile-an-hour limit coming up here. I thought it was 20. Oh. Try and get it up to speed here. There's that famous pew noise that the locomotives were like, that was one of the things that they were known for, was the air compressor sounds. And gotta admit, that's actually pretty cool to hear that. It just sounds like a traditional, like, one of those, like, laser gun sounds like you'd hear. Almost like the blaster bolts from Star Wars, actually, now I think about it. Gotta clear. Alright. Here we come. Sound the bell and whistle as we approach the Railfans. Yep. Yeah, I've been, yeah, I'm trying to concentrate here as I control, like, get the train moving here. Make sure we get through. There we go. Yay! Oh, there we go. Timeliness bonus. Alright. Oh, we should probably put the brakes on running. There we go. And we can go 30 miles an hour. Let's rip her open. Open her up, boys. Okay. Sounds are a little... This is one of G-Track's old models. Or actually, no, it's not G-Track's. It's RSC, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think G-Track's made the Burke. And a few other locomotives. But yeah, this is one of their old... Like, this is one of the old models from RSC. Which eventually became DTG. If you know anything about the history of Railworks and the development here of this game. RSC, or the Railsim company, was actually the company that developed Railworks originally, and they became Dovetail Games, and so on and so forth. You know, 40 limit coming up here. Make sure we are doing okay here with the speed and power. Speed and power. What's our fuel and water looking like? We got 80% water. But yeah, we're traveling over Donnor Pass, if you haven't guessed. This is where the Cab 4s made their home. And, yeah, like I said, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those, like, routes where it's very old, but has a feel to it that is just, like, very unique. Going through like, this area in particular, you see, like, how close the town is to the houses and the tracks and everything. You get the feel that it really is a town built around the railroad. And yes, this is Reno, Nevada. So I think we're in either Reno or Sparks. No, actually, the train came from Sparks. We're now through Reno, Nevada. This is because the station up here chose it. Let's blast the whistle as we approach here. Yeah. Coming up here. There's a crossing. Ah, speeding again. That's a 20? Oh, goodness. Oh, I didn't even pay attention. Well, I got a gold star in the scenario anyway. Oh, it's because there's the station up there. Right. Okay. Well, I lost a bunch of points there. There we go. We're back to 100, but that's fine. There we go. Make sure we're kind of maintaining boiler pressure and everything here. Okay. Keep the cylinder cocks, boiler open. There we go. We're good. Yeah. Okay. That's why we're going through the heart of town here. That's why. Pick up the little Jeep. I think, yeah, that's a Jeep. It's a GP9 if I'm not mistaken. Because, yeah, SD9s don't exist in this game. At least none that are payware. Oh, wait. How's our water in the boiler? 84? We're good. Okay. So we've got quite a ways to go. We got another waypoint up there. But yeah, like this this area of the map is always kind of fun to, like, it's one of those areas of the map or the route where it's like, oh yeah, there's a lot of work, like a lot of paying attention here on the tracks and everything. Like you could tell, like this is what these locomotives. There goes the air brakes again. Okay, well that's probably enough water in the boiler. I'm coming up to the crossing up here. Yeah, and that's the Reno station up there. Okay, come on. The bells are not ringing on the thing. That's enough. We put too much fire in there. Yeah, this is the Reno station, so it just says Reno. Okay. Yeah, there's the sign. Basically, New Reno, if anybody knows the Fallout series. This is basically, that's that famous sign from one of the signs. Alright, we're back to normal. Once we get out, I think it's past this station here. There's a point here where the track speed comes up to 50. Another passenger train, another freight train coming up here. Now there is a particular moment in history. Oh, these poor guys. They're not gonna get a good shot. Oh no! Don't you just hate it when Don't you just hate it when your photo opportunity is blocked by another fucking train? Like, dear God, those poor rail fans. They got blocked by a diesel. All right, here comes the 45. But yeah, like that was one thing that I always remembered. Like in some videos, like people just like if you're not careful and you don't know where you're there's a helper on the back end there. It's one of those things where like you gotta be like in the right spot, knowing where the train's gonna come in through, and everything, and that's kind of tricky to do unless you're listening specifically to radio chatter and know the layout of the tracks. You could easily get yourself caught in a situation where you're basically gonna get a chance. If there's a 50-50 shot usually of another train passing by as you see your train, like your rail fanning and whatnot. Especially when it comes to steam excursions and steam operations. That's one of those things where you got to be like, oh, well, you got to be like on your toes and everything about like making sure where the actual train is heading, what track it's on, and everything like that. So that moment kind of made me feel like, oh yeah, that's rough. It's like that little gif I've seen from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, that's rough, buddy. It's Zuko just going, that's rough, buddy. If it wasn't for the fact that I would get copyright, like that would get flagged on my channel, I would share it. But it's like, yeah, you can look it up. It's like, it's Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender saying, that's rough, buddy. Assuming it's either to Aang or oh god, what the fuck is his other name? What's the other dude's name? But it's like that show, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, it has a following. There's like a few things in there like that, like I distinctly go to when it comes to okay, we can open her up to 45. That I distinctly, oh shit. Yeah, there you go. Yellow. It's what, like, there's a lot of shows out there. Like, there's a particular scene in that show, and it's one thing I always point to when it comes to the term foamers. Many people probably don't know the term foamers. At least the average person doesn't know it. But from the way I've heard it described, it's always been the term has always been kind of like in regards to like people foaming at the mouth in excitement over a certain railroad or locomotive. And there's a scene, I think it's in like the second season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where there's a couple characters. I might show the GIF here, honestly, because as long as I don't have sound on it, I probably shouldn't flag it. But like, there's a character, and he's like cheering wildly, and like eventually he just like collapses with foam coming out of his mouth, and it's like, yep, that's a foamer. That's the definition of a foamer. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you just like the term. Yeah, just one of those things where like when you actually look into like some of the slang terms I've always heard of the of railroading and rail fanning type stuff, like the term railfan. That's not actually a very common term amongst just general people. So the idea of like, hey, yeah, I'm a rail fan, like they'll probably go like, you're a what? So it's one of those things where like you start to piece together, oh, right, not everybody knows these terms. Oh god, these whistle posts are very close to the tracks. I guess I assume you're gonna be like a lot slower? Or a lot longer? Alright, what's our fuel water level at? We're at 77 in the boiler. Well, that's looking pretty good. We don't have the double heading bug on this one, but there was a scenario I was testing for another run, the PFE scenario, PFE scenario. It said it was easier, but for some odd reason, I stalled on the halfway point of the scenario. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not easier. This is one of the easiest scenarios I've played with the cab forward, and it's like a little longer, but like also you gotta pay attention to everything. But yeah. But yeah, just like little terms like that. Foamer. Foamer's a term that I've never, like, people have rarely, like, I feel like very few people know the actual term. And like, if you know a better way of describing the term foamer, just leave it in the comments. I'll pin it. Because it's one of those things where like, even I, like, it's one of those things where I've looked it up multiple times. And there's like multiple Urban Dictionary definitions of that term. So it's like rather ridiculous. Yeah, we're not making that gold star again. I got a gold star last time. I got 990 points, and I just sped off in the night. But at least I'm going to be okay on this one. The whole thing... Oh, is that another train coming up our way? Yeah, there's another train coming up there. Because that's a headlight. Shut her down, shut her down. But yeah, I've got plans for some other videos in the future here, and... I've got a couple of Railworks videos in the works that I want to do again. Oh, there we go again. Speeding up again. Oh. Okay, so he wasn't even, like, allowed to go until just now. That's funny. So we've kind of, like, gotten out way ahead of schedule here because he was just sitting at the red block. There's a mid-train helper. These trains are not very long, but then again, I don't think they had usually had mile-long trains over Donnor Pass yet. Alright, here we go. We'll probably got mid-tier on this one, honestly, but I don't think we're gonna make the gold star. But yeah, like in terms of like multiple things, like foamer is a great example of like these weird terms that people just come up with and are like, oh, yeah, you're, it's just, yeah, it's just really interesting. Yeah, it's just, when I come across terms like foamer, and there's like, and it's just like with any industry, or not an industry, like any fandom, there's like a couple of terms out there that are pretty common for them, but like outside of that community, it's like, what the hell does that even fucking mean? So, yeah. And that's kind of a thing with communities. Like rivet counter is another one that I've heard in the rail fanning community that is not very common. And it's like, it's basically you count it's like the joke, it's basically a joke in terms of the foamers. They kind of go, from how I would describe it, like the rivet counters and the foamers kind of go hand in hand. The foamers are like overly excited over certain things in the railroading industry, whereas rivet counters like inspect every little detail and like want everything to be perfect. And it's especially bad when you get into communities like Railworks, where there's like, not to say that the community is bad, but like there's a handful of people in this community that are like, you are really something else. Like you really want to like this is a game at the end of the day. It's not a simulator. Like a simulator, yes, it's a simulator, but a simulator is a game. It's not meant to be the replacement of real life. That car just once again, truck spawning in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, the idea of the like the whole thing with simulators and like how it's supposed, like people want it to be a replacement for real life. Like that's not how that works. Like I've never seen these like simulators to be a replacement of real life. I've always seen them as games. I've always seen them as a form of enjoyment. I mean, my route, the Blackwater branch, is a prime example of this. You're never, and I mean never, going to see like anything realistic out of that route. Like when that route was released, and I will probably be releasing something for it soon alongside it once again. But it's like one of those things where like when you actually look into it, it's like ridiculous on how people assume people want these things to be absolutely to a T, to be realistic as hell. And then you look into like what they like the details of some of the stuff, and it's like, this is impossible for this game to even do. For a great example, I have a screenshot of this, and I've tried to do this once or twice, where was to recreate the Challenger's 143 car freight train over Sherman Hill. Well, it was technically over Archer Hill, but I wanted to just do the other way around over Sherman Hill. And lo and behold, the game was not able to kind of work with that, and ended up derailing the train instantly as soon as I got control of the locomotive. Like, apparently a switch was realigned underneath the train, which is not supposed to happen under the game's normal circumstances, and just freaked the game out and caused the train to derail. And I've had this happen a few times where this is like, oh, Jesus H. Christ. Like, this is ridiculous. So, yeah, the idea of these things being replacements for real life, like, yeah, that's not going to happen. But, like, when it comes to rivet counters, I get some of the things, like, they say. Like, for example, like, we should have better quality content for Railworks. I would say yes, but I would also say no. It's like, again, like a meme image where, like, the meme gif of, like, yes, but actually no. Like, that thing. Because, like, at the end of the day, yes, we do deserve better in terms of content. That was one of my things with, that's one of the things that I always, like, I've always seen. Like, I don't stress it too much, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I would like a lot better content. Like, I do appreciate groups like Machine Rails and Searchlight to some extent. Not gonna get into that whole thing, really. There's like a couple developers out there that are really good in terms of like the content they put out and the quality of content they put out. Switchpoint Simulations, their recent release of the SD70s, like that's like really good content. But then you've got the situation where this game is over a decade old. This game is at least 15 years old. It's from 2009. You can't do much with it at this point. That's one of the reasons why they've been pushing out stuff for Train, like they've been pushing more on Train Sim World than they have been with Train Sim Classic. Train Sim Classic is running its course. It's not much. There's not much you can do with it anymore. That like is legit, like that you can legit do, and not like possibly break the entire game. Like, unless you break the entire game, redo the code from the ground up, you're not going to get much more out of this game. The Steam simulation, for example, in this, like, for this cab forward, not the greatest. I mean, it's an old product, but, like, this is the same relatively the same Steam simulation as we have with the 1500s from Machine Rails. There's a few differences here and there. I do have a mod for my 1500s that was made by somebody. I was going to include it with the enhancement pack, but I never did because I never got permission to do so. And from what I understand, it's a few value changes in the physics one. So I wanted to give him credit properly when if I ever did release it, but because I never released it, it was like, okay, we'll just leave it alone for now, and then I'll figure out what to do from there. But yeah, it was one of those things where, like, when you actually look into like a lot of the firing mechanisms for the games, the smoke box stuff, yes, they're very complex on how you fire these locomotives and how you get them working. But it's because they're scripted all to hell to the point where, like, if you screw change anything with the scripts, it screws the entire locomotive up. The brake system, the so-called advanced braking system, that is Smokebox's script, and it's so, like, one of the things that I've heard people complain about. Not gonna name names because I can't even pronounce his name. But it's one of those things where, like, when you actually look into the advanced braking scripting, it's actually something that, like, it's from Smokebox, and it was originally developed for his Union Pacific Big Boy. That was the whole thing it was designed for. That was the whole thing. And so the idea of, oh yeah, this is yeah, we're running at the end of the scenario here. But yeah, like the sounds you typically hear for the advanced braking simulation for a lot of the newer content, it's like, oh yeah, that's release. That's good enough. Yeah, it's kind of complex. It's complex, but it's because it's designed for something completely different. And yeah, that was one of the whole things with it. It was like, oh yeah, that's not how this is supposed to be designed for. And I guess I'll talk about this more in another video. We're at the end of the scenario already. Wow, that took no time at all. But yeah, like advanced scripting and all, like there's little you can change with the game, and I'm fine with it. Alright, let's get a stop here. And I will continue this conversation next week, guys. So, like and comment down below. Subscribe if you guys want more. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Surprise! Yeah. Slight. So, I didn't realize this when I was recording. But when I recorded that first half of the video, I totally didn't realize that the scenario I was doing lasted only 30 seconds or 30 minutes. So, and the recording itself was even less than that. So we need to, okay. So I decided to do a switching scenario that's going to take me another 20 minutes. Okay, that is safety's going off there. Okay. Alright. Oh. But yeah, we're on the Rio Grande Southern now. What do you know? Let's make sure we get in here. So, let me see here. So, we need to couple into the back of extra 455. So, we're coupling into 3271. Alright, let me check on which cars those are, honestly, before we get moving. I think that's this cut of cars here. Yeah. 3271. Yep, that's this one right here. Alright, so we need to do some shunting. Or switching. We rarely do switching, don't you? Let's make sure we're lined out of the yard, first of all. Okay, we're not. Just need to switch, and we're lined all the way out. Okay, good. But yeah. Open the cylinder cocks, and we're off. But yeah, I'm gonna continue on with my conversation, not ironically about literally the whoops. Oh, we're rolling backwards. What? Okay, there we go. Phew, that was close. But yeah, like the simulation side of things with the game, the brakes and everything. Like, the brakes in this locomotive supposedly are supposed to be the advanced script. But they don't, you know, they're not part of it, so we're gonna try and keep our speed up here, or keep our speed down, rather. We don't run off here. But yeah, the is that 765's whistle? I never really bothered to look into that too much. Okay, we need to go all the way through here, so. But yeah, the simulation, especially with the brakes and everything, like when you get into a diesel locomotive that has the advanced braking script, it is legit like, oh dear God, what is this noise? Like the loud screeching and everything. That is the air brake system that is applied, like that is seen with the smoke box's big boys. It's literally the exact same sound. The car sounds you hear on these particular freight cars. These are not freight cars you would hear. Like those, that's the modern freight car sounds. And needless to say, it, oh dear God, why am I going that far fast? Okay, there we go. Back up here. But yeah, it's yeah, the idea that oh, I think that's a Reading. That's got to be a Reading. That is so funny. They had to use a Reading whistle for. It's not a DNRG whistle. It's not a DNRGW whistle. Anyway, point being, as you can see, like the whistle code for this locomotive, not the best, but like with just how limited you are with a lot of this stuff, you straight up have to be like on top of your game, like to break the code, to actively get everything to work. So apply brakes here as we come to a closed stop here. Slow down here. We don't want to hit these cars too hard, you know? Hold. Got the water coming in. Okay, easy. Hear the cars slacking. That's something, like I said, like that's the advanced, those car sounds, those are for modern freight cars, but they use them in everything because that's all they had. In terms of like, if you actually listen to the car sounds from like the old G-Track stuff, like a great example of this is the Besburn Lake Erie route. If you actually listen to the car sounds on those, on that route, it's like, oh dear God, these cars sound horrible. Slowly hitch into these cars here. But yeah, it's and come on, good hitch. So now where are we going? Are we picking up the caboose? Yeah, we're picking up the caboose here. All right. Stretch them. But yeah, it's essentially. Are we clear that switch there? I don't know. We got a signal out there, which is interesting. So I assume we're picking up the caboose. Oh, I see now. We're dropping off cars. No, we're coupling cars here. 0403. Yeah, that's the caboose we're picking up here. Now, we're picking up the caboose? So what the hell are we doing? Couple. Oh, drop off. Okay. No, we're coupling. Oh, no, there's a drop-off on the next cut of cars there. Gotcha. But yeah, essentially, the whole thing, in terms of like, with the scripting and everything, you don't have a lot of wiggle room to work with in these games, in this game, and anyway. Like I said, like that's one of the reasons why they've been pushing Train Sim World. I almost called it Railworks World. Which is essentially what it is. But yeah, it's like one of those things where like now that you've started to piece this stuff is like legit, like it's old, it's difficult to like get things working. So the idea of a scenario where it's specifically designed, like stuff like where it's specifically designed to run with how it's like legit working and everything, like it's surprisingly enough, it's just like, oh yeah, that's not exactly going to work unless you break the game. Okay, we're going back here and we're picking up the caboose right down there at the end. Like, there you go. That's a prime example, is the whistle in this locomotive. Like, it's legit. Like, if you do a short tap, it does not want to cooperate. Okay, back it up, back it up, back it up. There we go. Push it. By the way, speaking of these cars, I was working a while back on a ES&D variant of these rolling stock cars and the SD&S variants. So I'm still working on that. Did I switch the switch line correctly? Yeah, I did. Needed to make sure I was doing that correctly. So we have a fairly decent job here. There we go. Don't want to be going too fast. But yeah, I do enjoy steam routes, and since I didn't really think that scenario was going to take less than 30 minutes. It said it was going to take 40 minutes. But yeah, it took 30 minutes. Go figure. Alright, how's our steam pressure's pretty good. Water's good, everything's good on this locomotive here. It's picking up speed, that's for damn sure. Apply brakes a little bit. Bong, 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 bong. Get the slack kind of run in. If we can do it just right, we can leave the brakes on while we kind of let the steam kind of kick us in. Here we go. Here's a caboose. We're picking up the caboose. This is actually the second time I've run on this route, so at least properly. I do plan on running a third time on this route soon, or eventually on this route properly when the machine aforementioned Machine Rails releases their T19, because that's the next project they've got planned on their roadmap. And good hitch. Oh, there's your train orders. Interesting. I got her good. So we're going up north here. Alright. That's okay. Got that set. Yeah, that's a Reading. That's a Reading 5 chime that they put on this thing. It's the closest thing they could get to a DNRG whistle, I guess. I'll definitely put the Southern Pacific version scenario up front because that makes more sense. But yeah. And I'll probably put a warning on this video, or not a warning, but kind of an advisory on the beginning of the video that this is a two different videos in one go here. But yeah, it's one of those things where, like, at the end of the day, when you actually look at the details here and how this game works, I mean, look at the graphics on this route. Not great, but at the same time, it's also not bad. Like, this is actually pretty decent. Blow the whistle for the next crossing here. Let me make sure we're lined out of here. Never mind. And we're blowing our safeties again. And by the way, heads up, this area is called Mine Run Part 1. So So we're kind of making sure we're doing this scenario here. So yeah, we've got a... Oh, I didn't even notice it's got the little lantern box on the... It's a bobber. Oh no, it's a DNRG Class 2 caboose. If you've ever watched me play Railroads Online, you'll know this exact caboose. That's funny. I did not expect that. Cool. So we're going... Where? A good mile out. Okay, we're only a mile out. Oh, we can cut down on the reverser here. We're kind of blowing steam off. Oh, we going... Oh, yeah, we're going out of the yard. Okay, cool. We don't need to be going too fast here. Yeah, the smoke is drifting too. That's nice. That's one of the good things about this. Like, that's one of the things I love about this, some of these games here, is like, just how they design everything. Milepost has always been a developer I've always enjoyed, so that's one of those things where I've got them down. And we're picking up speed. No, we're slowing down here. I'm debating on whether or not I use a, I mean, I could do it. Okay. So let's zoom out here, because I think we're picking up... We're not here. Oh, interesting. Got a 12-mile-an-hour limit coming up here. We might want to be prepared to keep that on steady here. Where are we going? It's a 1.5 mile journey out there. Okay, slow her down. Yeah, it's really weird. Like I said, like there's so much you can do with this the game, and people complain like, "Oh, it's not realistic. It's not like it's not the best. It's not absolutely perfect." Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. The game is from 2009. Graphics-wise, you can't do much with this game. You can't make it to oh god. Sneeze. Alright. You can't do anything with this game that is legit like... Nope, head up. When you get to... I don't know what that said. I didn't even read it. Do I have the ability to read it? Oh, that's the train orders. Well. Okay, that's the only thing I can see. Okay, fair enough. Power! Alright, here we go. Alright, well, we're gonna be picking up some cars down there. Yeah, there we are. Okay, where are we going here? Let's go over there and check. That's our locomotive. There's our cars. Oh, we're lined straight into it. A couple to the front, right? Oh, yeah. A couple to the front. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I think I know why. Because we're going to have to pull them out and then put them on the back of our contest. That makes sense. Okay. Well, that's a little more interesting than I would have thought. It's further down here, right? Holy hell, that's a nice... Oh, that's a water... That's a viaduct. Water viaduct. Eh. Where is it? It's like way down here, right? Yeah, here it is. Osier. I think... Okay. Ah! We slowed down too much. Fuck. You have a bit more coal in the fire. We're not... Oh, well, we are blowing our safeties, but that's fine. You need to make sure you... This is one of those routes you gotta pay more attention than on the Southern Pacific route. On the Donnor Pass route. Like, that's something there for you. Well, I've been recording. Not very long, about 10 minutes. Ah, truck. Nice little pacing scene there. You can do. Can I do that? Nope. Come on, you can do it. A little bit more. It's nice that I'm running a Rio Grande Southern unit, or a locomotive here. Trying to get as much power out of this locomotive as possible here. Because we're going to be needing that power Okay, easy, easy, easy. Coming up to the milepost here. Let me see. Is there other views here? Just the 3. Okay. Oh, that cab light's on. I keep forgetting about that. Click it off. No! Click off! Click off! Oh. Slow down, slow down. There we go. Cab view. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I'm really excited. There's some games that I'm really interested in terms of trains and railroading stuff, but I'm never going to stray away from Railworks as a whole, because this is one of those games where I've played it for so long. It's one of the games that I kind of, in a way, I've kind of grown up with this game, just not in the sense that you might think. I grew up playing Microsoft Train Simulator back when I was a kid. MSTS, as it's now typically referred to. It's one of those games where I legit, like, spent hours playing, and a lot of the controls on this particular game are literally the same controls. Like, the control scheme and everything are, like, literally one-in-one. So, it's one of those things where, like, I look at it like, oh, yeah, that's kind of, like, that control, and that's that whole thing, and so on and so forth. It's actually gotten to the point where I played this game so much that I have, whenever I try and play other rail sims, I end up forgetting the control scheme, the other train games and everything, and I forget the control scheme. I'm like, oh, well, whoops. I'm also going to have to do a lot more editing on this video than I normally would do, because of the fact that I, A, didn't realize I was recording so short, not long footage, and B, because I had sneezed earlier. Anyway, this proceeds to sniffle. But yeah, essentially, these games, like MSTS, was kind of the majority of what I played as a kid. Now, granted, I was never good at it. I was a kid. I was like 3 or 4 years old. But one of the other games I played a lot as a kid was Transport Tycoon. Well, Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Oh, okay. And Locomotion was another one. That's the one I'd play on my channel. But I've been trying to, like, essentially figure out, like, a good set of games that would be, like I said, like, Transport Tycoon is a game that I always loved playing, and I've recently got it reinstalled on my computer. And Locomotion is another game that I've really enjoyed. I just haven't gotten a chance to go back into playing it, specifically because there's a particular mod pack I have, or like a bunch of mods I have, that I really want to play a scenario for, but I just don't have the ability to make one. So it's kind of that kind of situation. Alright, here we go. You have a little bit more coal in the fire as we climb the hill. Okay, slow her down. We're kind of going a little fast here, buddy. But yeah, we're coming up to the mine here, and we're gonna collect some cars, tack them on the front, pull them out, and then essentially, oh, I just realized there was a picture I saw on the Railroads Online Discord a while back, kind of bringing them into the fold here, where that particular building that's right in front of us there was one of the planned buildings in their game for some sort of mining operation or something like that. I don't know what it was, the plan was, but somebody had shown off some development images, like in progress images of that. Maybe it was not for Railroads Online, but it was definitely an image that was like, oh yeah, that's that thing. Has my brakes been on this entire time? Yep, I knew we were pulling them out because the track dead ends here. Alright. Now these guys in the traffic are going to be a little pissed at us, but that's fine. Alright, easy does it. Pat, tab. Approve! We got an approval. Alright, easy, easy. Yeah, right. Again, there's that point where you start to notice how odd it is. Like the whistle code and everything is kind of broken and everything. Ease our train into the coupling here situation and grab these cars out of here. Easy, easy. Okay, slow her down. About 2.5 miles is probably good. Ah, fuck. Clicked on the wrong video thing. Alright, here we go. Oh, we're stopped. We're hooked. Good hook. Hitch. Alright. Now we have to pull them back by the looks of it. Alright, so where are we going now? Oh. Wait, what? Drop off. 3. Oh, the cars I just picked up earlier. Okay. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. So I'm assuming what we're going to have to do, we're going to pull these cars out, put them on the track here, run around our train, and then drop off the cars, I guess? Let's see. Yes. All right. I think I see what we're going to be doing. And then drop off you over there. Okay, I see what's going on. So drop off those cars. I think this is the cars we just hooked into, actually. So we're dropping those off over there. Wait, what? Oh, I guess we just pull forward then. Is that what we're doing? Man, I'm confused. And drop off. What in the absolute fuck are we doing? Okay, so this is going all over here at this end of the track. Oh, Jesus. Alright, well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We're just going to pull forward and going to hope for the best. So those are going to salvage, correct? Oh, I see now. There we go. Kind of pull forward a bit here so we get everything out of the way. Okay, come on. We need to clear that switch back there. Alright, easy does it. A lot more intensive than I thought it was going to be here. There goes the traffic. It's cleared of the switch there. Alright. Can I hear that hissing there? Alright, stop there. Hold left. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go into the editor here. A couple, tie down these brakes. There we go. 3 cars braked on. And then we're going to go back to you. Now, I'm assuming... Oh, Jesus Christ. No, stop, stop, stop. Stop. So we're unhooking all of these cars. So I'm assuming these 2 cars don't unhitch, right? Yeah, these are 6 series numbers. These are not unhitching. It's just the box cars then. Okay. Interesting. So... Oh, I see now. These cars are going to be dropped off on a different track here. Right. What the hell? They're being dropped off on the same track. Oh, wait, no. There we go. That's what we're doing. It's going over here, actually. Okay. Cool. All right. We got a plan. Takes me a second to figure out things here. All right. Unhook. Jesus! Rolls back a little bit. Running. Release. Okay. Pull forward. These cars are being shoved onto the spur there. So we're gonna put these over here. Gonna put more water in the boiler because we're running out of water. All right, come on. I feel like there should be a guy hanging on the sides of these boxcars here, which is basically what you should be doing, riding the shove. Okay, we're gonna put them at the far end of the track here, so we don't like have too much room here. All right, that's good enough. Okay, easy. Put them on the spur. And then we'll put handbrakes on all 4 of these cars because that's kind of what we're gonna have to do anyway. That should do it right there. Yeah, we were nearing the end of the spur there. Alright, good. Alright, easy. Put some handbrakes on the lead cars there. A bit more, a bit more. We still on the block there? Yeah, we are. Okay. Got plenty of room. There we go. Alright, well, those cars are set. And then, just to make sure we're going down the right track here. What the fuck? Oh, I see. I'll line that switch there. And this is going over there. So, we're gonna line that switch. Line this switch. And that should have us going down the wrong fucking track. Alright. There we go. We're good. Line through. Let's go. We're still filling up with water here. Apparently. Not doing too well. But we're filling up. Okay. Alright. Well, that didn't take long. Yeah, we don't even... Yeah, I guess we... Yeah, okay. We'll drop off the rest of the cars here. Another road over there. We're lined through, right? Yeah, we're good. Do we have a signal we have to worry about back there? Nope. The only signal we have to worry about is further back here. But that's fine. Let's actually move that switch back. That way we're not lined. There we go. Make sure we're lined over here, too. There we go. Alright. This scenario took a little longer than the other one, but, you know, that's fine. Interesting. Oh, right, because that's not... Yeah, what the... Sir! Sir! Boop, 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 boop. What the fuck? Sir! What the absolute fuck? Okay. That's hilarious. Alright, we're gonna take these and put them over here. Pandora! Let me tell you a story about Pandora. No, not Pandora's box. The planet. Stop, 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 stop. I think we're good here. I think? Ah! Did it again! No, we need to push back a little further. Alright, good. Give it a push. Push as far as you can there, boy. That's good. Right there. Alright. I think that's where we want to be. Alright. And then we put handbrakes on the 3 cars here. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Unhook you. And then we're stopping at the Y track at the other end there, eh? Which is right down here. Well, that switch back there. Going through there, and we're not lined through here, but look at it. Oh, wait, no, we were. Almost kicked the cars. There we go. Pull forward. There we go. I know I've got the brakes on, but that's fine. We're not worried about it too much here. Y west. Tail. We're going to go into the Y. Okay. We're going to go over to the Y, and that's it for the scenario. That's actually quick. Alright. Yep. Hello. Hello. Oh my god, that's a long line of traffic. What the fuck? What the fuck? The fuck, dudes? I'm gonna go back to the future. Gonna teleport. Oh, Jesus. Not that fast. Make sure we're lined out of here. Yeah, we're lined. Here we go. Come on. Look at the cylinders are huge on these locomotives, but then again, that's the K27 for you. Okay, we're in. Just a little bit further so we can clear the switch. There you go. There we go. Stopped. And we're good. I mean, not ideal, but still. Getting something. Tree. Alright, well, that was easy. Anyway, that was pretty decent. So about 50 minutes there total with the videos. So now I can say like and comment down below, subscribe if you guys want more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.